Maktub, as referred in The Alchemist, written by Paulo Coelho. I advise y'all to read that book. I recommend you guys to read that book. It is a great book for a personal legend if you guys are having a hard time in your life on not knowing where you need to go and thinking that the path that you're taking is the right path. Hang in there, because I was once there too, and I read that book years ago and it changed my whole thinking of life, and I am very grateful that Paulo Coelho wrote that book and many others. Manuscript found in Accra, The Warrior of the Light. There's just so many he has that are just great books to fulfill your inner self when you're feeling down and you're feeling that you don't have a route to go. But Maktub, what he represents is the book. It's an Arabic word, and its meaning, it is written, which means your destiny is written. If you make opportunities for yourself, doors are always going to open. Yes, you're not a stranger to the downs, but please believe if you stay with your eyes on the prize and to your goal and trusting your process, your destiny is going to be fulfilled. And you have to hang in there even when the road gets tough. And you know, I'm practicing what I preach, because years ago I was in that same boat, that thinking that nothing was going right, and I've done so much, like all the opportunities that I created myself, I guess I didn't hang in there. But then I hung in there and more doors opened up, and I'm very grateful for that. So you have to stay grateful. You have to work hard. You have to stick with your grind. You have to trust that process. Even Marcus Lemonis, a very great business entrepreneur out there, if you guys watch him, the prophet, trust the process. You have to trust the process to get there. No one ever got anywhere with just thinking of their idea and putting it in the clouds and putting it into the universe. You not only have to put it to the universe, you have to also work in the universe. You have to let the universe work into your favor. Because when you don't, then it's all for nothing, and it's just words that you're speaking. So your actions are going to prove everything with what is going on in your life. And if you don't act on your instincts, then you're doing it all for nothing. So you have to act on all your instincts, act on everything that you do, because that's the only way that you're going to get anywhere in life. And a lot of people get so discouraged in their paths, and they end up changing their paths. Like this generation, no one knows how to stick with things. And even in my generation, you know, some of us, we stuck with our things, and then there was others that didn't get the instant gratification and they just dropped it and they went to something else. Well, it's because they didn't try hard enough. Like we live in an age where, and I've said it before in many other videos, like we live in an age where we have the opportunity to fail. And when we have so many opportunities to fail, then we give up on so many things instead of sticking them out. Like you fail at your business. Your business didn't make money, you didn't get the customers you wanted, you didn't get the product that you wanted. So what? Analyze everything what you did and then change so you can gain more. See how others have done things and how successful are. Look at successful people. You have to surround yourself with positive and successful people, because when you don't, your morale goes down, and then you're surrounding yourself around individuals that don't have that successful bone or that drive in them, or that fire that they carry every day in their lives. And when you surround yourself with successful people, you start to see their mannerisms, you start to see their routine on what they do, and you start to see what different things they've done and what things that they avoid and things that they've tried and then things that they've tweaked. So you have to surround yourself with things like that. And I'm not saying, you know, drop your friends. I'm just simply saying surround yourself more with some successful people to branch off ideas. You can't keep yourself in this box. You can't be. You have to be well-rounded. And being well-rounded gets your attitude in the right mind, your personality in the right mind, your ways of thinking in the right mind. So you can't keep yourself in those boxes, because the world is going to put you in those boxes, and it's up to you to break that threshold and to break that glass ceiling to get out of that box, because they always want to put you and ask you, what is your market? Who's your audience? Who's this? Who's that? What are you trying to reach? What's your end goal? Make sure you're prepared so you don't have to get ready, because they're always going to try to dissect you and dissect of who you are. Stick to your brand. Stick to who you are. Stick to that person who's in the mirror, because that's the person who at the end of the day you have to prove to. Whether you've made it, whether you failed. And if you did fail, there is always room for you to create more change and to create a successful plan. And even successful people have their bad days, and even successful people have their days where they fail. So don't always think that the people you see that are so successful that they have never failed, because I bet you they failed 20 times and even more. So don't ever be discouraged when you fail. Pick your ass back up, trust that process, go hard, work hard, reap what you sow, plant your seeds, make sure they grow, water them. And I'm saying your ideas need to come out of every which way. Your plans, your blueprints need to come which way. Talk to your peers, talk to your family. If you have a partner that's in with you, talk with them, listen to their ideas, be an open book. Stop being stubborn. You have to listen. You have to listen in order to get somewhere. There's so many people that will surprise you with the mindsets they have, and they will surprise you with the intelligence they have. So I'd advise you to listen, seriously. You know, I'm not at a place where I'm successful yet, but I'm damn sure on that plane. I've taken my routes, I know my plan, I know what I want to do, and I know where I'm gonna take it, and I see my goals ahead of me, and I see what I want to do. So you have to vision that. I'm gonna revert back to Paulo Coelho. There's a young boy, Santiago, and he is tired of being a sheep herder. He's being a sheep herder because his father's father was, and he wanted to venture and see the world. And he went through a lot of trials and tribulations along his path. He went through people stealing from him. He went through losing things. He went through different places that he didn't want to be, and it got him out of his comfort zone, and it scared him where he wanted to go home. He wanted to end his journey on finding his personal legend. It's a key word. And just certain things blocked him and clouded his judgment to where he didn't want to finish it. But he persevered, and he ended up finishing his journey, and he was rewarded. So that book hits my heart, even though that it's not a true story, and it's just a great story, but you can apply it to your life, because a lot of us went through things like Santiago, but a lot of us have been through problems and events that have shied us away from wanting us to want more for our lives. When we hit roller coasters, when we hit speed bumps, when we hit roadblocks, and we want to give up so bad, because that failure or that roadblock hits us so hard that it just like makes us question, like, is it worth it? And I'm telling you, it is worth it. It truly is worth it, you know, because with me, I applied for the PTA program last year, and I didn't get in. I got beat by 1/10 of a point. Now that 1/10 of a point hit me so hard, and it made me so sad, where I was thinking about other things to change my life, or other occupations for me to change. And luckily my wife was saying, you know, stick with it, stay in it, because you've worked so hard with it, you've went to school, this is what you want to do, you know, you're finally at a place where you can do this. And you know, I was just like, I'm still gonna do it, I'm still gonna have my foot in the door. Went back in, took a class, ended up being 3.5 student, and applied for the next time. And as you've seen earlier in the videos, your boy got in because I worked hard. And now I'm working harder to stay in there when I start this new semester, for me to become a PTA and for me to expand my horizons of being a PTA and going in through fitness and being a strength and conditioning coach and stuff like that. So there's so much more that I want to do, and PT is just one thing. That's just one thing. I don't spill the beans. So I preserve my beans, like I keep saying. I used to do this years ago when I used to send text messages to my friends, you know, and everybody that I went to school with, and they loved them. And I got discouraged because a lot of people, I wasn't getting feedback. But you know what? Even though you don't get feedback when you do stuff like this to enlighten someone, just know that even if you didn't get feedback, someone is still being enlightened, and they're very grateful for the words that you sent to them or the words that you said to them. They don't take it for granted, and they apply it to their lives. So don't ever feel discouraged when you're touching someone's heart and you don't get the satisfaction or the encouragement back, or the feedback. So just keep doing you. Keep doing you. Don't let people stop you. Don't let them tell you can't do it. Don't let them tell you it's a bad idea. Don't let them tell you that you're not gonna make it. Don't let them tell you that you're gonna be back home when you leave. But those that are defeated, we know how to get back up. We don't die, we multiply. You know, we're not fly, we levitate above the horizons. For those of you that have been defeated, but you know how to come back and go for the good fight, keep going. And for those of you that keep saying that you've been undefeated, you've never tried your hardest as to why you've never been defeated, or you're too into yourself to admit that you've been defeated and you feel that you're going to be judged. I got news for you. You're gonna be judged the rest of your life. You've been judged since the day of your birth. You have to sit at a table with individuals that feel if they're going to cross you or not cross you, debate upon you, and not agree with how you feel or what your views are, and you just want them to agree with you. No, that's not being true to yourself. If that's not your true view, then you need to fight for your true view. You need to help them understand, because they're trying to help you understand their true view. So take that into account. We all have our personal legends. And our personal legends are what opportunities we make for ourselves. But if we don't make opportunities for ourselves, then we get nowhere, and we don't have a personal legend. We end up dying, and we end up being stagnant, and we just become existing human beings. Now, do you want to make your mark in life, or do you just want to exist? I want to make my mark in life. I want to put my footprints in the sand. I want to get my skin into the game. I want to get my cloth on to the throw. I want that. And that's my goal. And that's what I plan on doing. So, it's your boy Jam J, Jam's Views, Maktub. Remember, it is written. Cool.